Hello everyone and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. I hope you're all feeling amazing, because today's topic has left the entertainment world in stunned silence. We're diving into the revelation that Erkan Meriç and Hazal Subaşı, two names we've admired for years, have taken a step that few expected them to take so openly. Yes, the whispers are over. What had long lived behind closed doors is now peeking into the light, accompanied by details that even the most seasoned gossip watchers weren't ready for. If you followed their careers or simply love a heartfelt, well-kept secret finally unveiled, you're in the right place. Before we unravel it all, remember to like this video, subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update from us. The impact of this news felt like a sudden spotlight flicking on in a dark theater. After seasons of speculation and carefully avoided questions, the curtain has lifted, and the story is richer than anyone imagined. For a long time, Erkan and Hazal kept their connection as private as possible, even while cameras and fans followed their every move. Now, in a moment that already feels historic, the information is flowing. Photos, shared memories, hints that were once dismissed and are now impossible to ignore. We know many of you come to us for the little things, those telling glances and quiet gestures others might miss. Trust me, this is one of those cases that has all the ingredients to go down as the most unforgettable reveal of the year. Years of rumors kept this mystery alive. You remember them. The quick smiles in interviews, the long pauses before carefully chosen words, the familiar warmth on set that never quite felt like just colleagues making a scene work. So why hide it for so long? Why carry a secret so heavy through red carpets and premieres? Those are the questions that chased them from backstage to backseat rides, and today we finally have the beginnings of an answer. To truly grasp the weight of what's happening, we need to look back and remember who they've been to the public and who they've allowed themselves to be when no one was watching. Erkan, a quiet storm in human form, has always balanced intensity with restraint. He dominates a frame without trying, then retreats into calm the moment the director calls cut. His craft is precise, but it's his mystery that keeps audiences glued to him, always guessing, always wanting more. Hazal, on the other hand, wears grace like an old friend. She's luminous, attentive, intuitive, someone who knows when to step in and when to step back. Her privacy has never felt like aloofness, but rather an artful choice, a soft boundary that made her performances burn brighter. Together, those energies, collected, thoughtful, and deeply felt, created a chemistry that fans recognized even when both of them refused to say a word about it. And now for what everyone has been waiting for. The intimate details surfacing at last. By all accounts, this bond isn't new. It didn't appear on a whim, and it doesn't behave like infatuation. The trail of clues stretches back further than most imagined. What once looked like harmless coincidences, an early morning coffee on an out-of-the-way street, overlapping travel dates, reflections of the same sunset filmed from two different angles, now line up like stars forming a constellation. There were quiet getaways, small group dinners, and the kind of locked-in eye contact that turns a crowded room into a private conversation. Those who were paying attention saw hints. Now, those hints feel like a carefully plotted map. It's astonishing that they managed it at all. In a time when every phone is a lens and every moment a potential headline, maintaining a private life requires both discipline and daring. How did they do it? Was there a team, a carefully picked circle of confidants guarding every outing, every call, every message? Or did they build their own system of trust, planning departures minutes apart, arranging separate cars, and leaning on friends who would rather lose a quote than lose their loyalty? Maybe it was all of the above. What's clear is that this wasn't luck. It was intention, a steady commitment to keeping their hearts safe until they were ready to share them. There's a story circulating about how they reconnected away from glaring lights. Some say it was on location after a long day, when the crew drifted into small pockets of conversation and laughter. Others claim it began during a quiet off-season stretch, when work slowed and the noise around them thinned. However it started, the spark didn't burn fast and bright only to vanish. It glowed and grew. For the longest time, people insisted they were just incredibly close friends united by the grind of their careers and the high expectations placed on them. But those who really know them insist the pull between them was stronger than labels could capture, an unmistakable undercurrent running beneath all the polite answers and casual statements. Now, with more pieces on the table, the past looks different. Photos that slipped by before begged to be revisited. A hand resting just so, a candid smile meant for one person only, an absent-minded lean toward one voice in a crowd. Social media posts are being reread like poetry, with dedications that felt generic at the time now landing like secret messages. And then there are the personal touches, what people close to them have whispered about the conversations that stretch late into the night, the values that align, the ways they help each other stay grounded when pressure spikes. There's talk that Hazal has been a steady anchor during seasons of change for Erkan, and that he, in turn, has worked quietly to protect her calm and keep the noise from swallowing her whole. This is the side of fame that people connect with most deeply, the proof that even the most composed public figures feel, worry, love, and need. The world's response has been swift. Timelines flooded within minutes, comments stacking one atop another, surprise, delight, vindication. Fans are sending love, saying they suspected, saying they hoped, saying they knew but chose to keep their distance out of respect. The messages of congratulations come with heartfelt testimonies about how their on-screen synergy kept people company through hard days, and how seeing them happy in real life now feels like the payoff of years spent rooting for something beautiful. There will always be skeptics, people who prefer the thrill of doubt, but even they seem softened by the gentleness of this reveal. The tone online is warm, protective, celebratory. Professionally, the effect is impossible to ignore. They were powerful on their own, but together the spotlight is brighter, the questions louder, the expectations higher. Many predict a wave of interest that will follow them into their next projects, a wave they can ride if they choose. But the real shift isn't business, it's personal. For the first time in a long time, they can exhale. No more dodging the invisible threads tying them together. No more rehearsed deflections or choreographed exits. This is the kind of relief that lifts performances and softens a face in ways the camera cannot fake. Behind the scenes, we're learning about the choreography of secrecy that carried them here. There were carefully chosen meeting spots, apartments entered from opposite sides, tiny alibis that were innocent enough to repeat but vague enough not to spark a headline. Their inner circle deserves credit, too, a few trustworthy friends, family members who know the sound of their laughter and the weight of their silences, people who kept quiet not for drama's sake but for love's. Discretion wasn't merely an agreement, it was a discipline, practiced daily. The question on everyone's mind is why now? Did a turning point arrive? Was there a moment when the balance shifted from protection to permission, from keeping to sharing? Maybe a milestone passed that made them feel safe. Maybe they just realized life is too precious not to be lived out loud, at least a little. Whatever sparked it, the result is unmistakable. When you look back at the last few months, the signs are there. Soft dedications tucked into interviews, matching moods across different posts, images taken in what seems to be the same slices of sky and sea. The puzzle pieces were in plain sight, we just needed the picture on the box. What matters most in all of this is the quality of the connection that emerges through the noise. This doesn't feel like a fling built on headlines, nor a strategic pairing designed for ratings. It reads like two people choosing each other over and over, learning the vocabulary of the other's fears and hopes, building a shelter from attention without shutting the world out entirely. That's what draws fans closest, the sense that beyond the perfect lighting and interview soundbites, there's a simple, enduring promise: be there, be true, be kind. In the broad sweep of show business, their story reads like a reminder that love can bloom under pressure and still keep its softness. Secrets aren't always lies, sometimes they're just tenderness kept out of the wind until it's strong enough to stand. To see them step forward now, with careful honesty, is both brave and generous. It lets the public breathe with them, cheer for them, and, somehow, feel a little less alone. So here we are at the end of a reveal that somehow feels like a beginning. We've traced the path from whispers to confirmation, from coded gestures to open acknowledgements. We've talked about how they kept their bond private, the small clues everyone missed, the rush of support pouring in, and what this could mean for the choices they make next. The headline is simple but powerful: Erkan, Meriç and Hazal Subaşı are together, and the picture that emerges is one of sincerity, devotion, and hard-won trust. The timeline makes sense now. The pieces fit. And for those of us who have watched them grow, it feels as if the story finally caught up with the truth. Thank you for spending this time with us at Turkish Spotlight Secrets. We loved bringing you this deep dive, and we can't wait to hear what you think. Did you sense this coming? Which hints stood out to you now that the truth is out? What would you like us to look into next time? Share your thoughts below, we read everything. If you enjoyed this video, show us by hitting like, tell your friends who cherish a good love story, and make sure you're subscribed to Turkish Spotlight Secrets so you never miss the next chapter. Until then, take care of your hearts, and we'll see you in the next one.